As you're thinking about the year ahead, do you cringe just thinking, ugh, is next year the year I have to do more social media marketing? Just thinking about writing a social media post off the top of my head, it makes me want a nap. Do you feel me? And that's exactly why I wanted to bring you this episode today, because the truth is, you can build a thriving, well established practice without being glued to social media or becoming an AI wizard or doing all the things that the online gurus swear you must do. And because this is a holiday week and Christmas is coming, I have brought you a little gift today along those lines. This is a special episode that's going to teach you my go to framework for how to think about this. And as part of it, I'm including a free chapter of my book, Establish Yourself. That is the very chapter that breaks down the foundational framework that I use to grow my business to multiple six figures without hustle or algorithms. I want you to think of this week as a warm holiday reset, a reminder that the most reliable and sustainable ways to grow your business can actually be the simplest ones. And they're available to you right now. No pressure, no perfection, no posting marathons required. So if you've been craving clarity, direction, a calmer path to becoming an in demand and well established expert here in the new year, today's best of episode and your gift inside are just for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, the show that helps coaches and consultants get clear on how to talk about what you do, simplify your offers, and have more fun in your business and beyond. I'm Annie Franceschi, brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. I'm here to help you clarify your message, package your expertise, and streamline your systems to grow a business you actually enjoy. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. In the first several years of my business, I really believe that the tactic tornado was required. If you're not familiar with the tactic tornado, this is a concept I talk about in my book, Establish Yourself. But the idea is basically that every other day there is a new marketing strategy that you are being told that you have to do. You got to do this. You got to be on TikTok. You got to do the webinar. You got to do this. You got to do a podcast. You know what? On and on until you are swept up in a tactic tornado. And where do you end up? Where does a tactic tornado put you? Down the black hole of internet marketing, burnout with no results. I don't want to be there. I tried the tactic tornado. That's what was originally sold to me in the years that I was starting my business 11 years ago. So let's say 2013 to 2016. I tried those things. I burn out. They didn't work for me. The only thing that did work for me was to double down on some common sense strategies, things that didn't rely on algorithms and learning new technologies, but were good old fashioned relationship building activities. They are old fashioned, but they work. And I want to talk to you about what those are today. I actually wrote an entire book that talks about how to stay out of the tactic tornado and how to do this. Today, I'm going to give you an overview. So, the book is called Establish Yourself, Brand, Streamline, and Grow Your Greatest Business. It is the book that inspired this show, but it is a 350-page book that will help you build a clear plan to optimize your business to the next level, to optimize your branding, operations, sales, client experience, referral relationships, and marketing, all without constant social media. So let's dive in today with sort of key points from that. Three specific ways that I've marketed myself without social media and how you can do the same, pulling from my signature approach, the Establish Yourself framework. The first part of the framework is E for embrace your story. And one of the biggest things I did to embrace my story was I got clear. I got clear on my brand and my offer, and I talked about it everywhere. The best and the simplest visibility strategy you have is to get super clear on what it is you do, who it is for, and to talk about how to work with you. I am constantly shocked in the hundreds of conversations I have every single year with coaches and consultants who are begging me for tips on how do I get visible? How do I get people to discover me? And I say, well, are you clear on what you do, what you sell? Are you talking about it? Have you said who it's for? Have you said how to work with you? All of those things are free, right? So they are essential. But what I find is that a lot of people can't answer those questions for themselves. So that's one of my biggest strategies that has worked so well for me and for my clients is to stop chasing the tactic tornado and start with foundation. Get clear on what your brand and offer are. That is something I help clients do. I work with them directly. You can listen here from the podcast for more tips about this. Of course, the book dives into it deeper. But this is why, if you have been doing so much social media marketing and not seeing results, this is often why, if we're going to diagnose it. Because I see this all the time where people are burning themselves out with all these tactics, but it's not based on any clear strategy. You're not actually clear on what it is you're doing or selling. And so no one can buy it and they're not making a connection. So take a step back. If you are down that funnel, let's take a step back all the way to the foundation and get clear. E, embrace your story. Get clear on your brand and offer. What is the S of EST, the Establish Yourself Framework? If the E is embrace your story, the S is shape your business. Shaping my business has really meant optimizing my client work and all the processes I use to run my business. I often refer to this as I try not to fixate on frosting. We're taught that the frosting is all that matters. That's the fancy marketing, the tactic tornado, like, oh, the sprinkles and all of that. But many of us never really stop to make the best cake we can. Are we baking the best cake we can? I have spent literal years making sure that my business, my offers, how I work with clients, how I work behind the scenes is super optimized, is handled so well that clients refer me like crazy. I counted the other week that I have something like over 20 clients over my 11 years who have spent more than 5 figures with me, who continue to work with me year after year or come back after multiple years. It is huge. When you stop worrying about the frosting of it all and bake a great cake, you can have a cupcake that is an amazing cupcake without the frosting and the sprinkles, right? But if all you are is frosting or sprinkles, or you don't have either of that, you're not selling anything. So even though it seems counterintuitive, like, Annie, how do you grow if you're not quote unquote working on marketing? Well, I am, because if I have a great business, if I have an amazing cupcake, my clients are telling everybody how great the cupcake is. They're taking a bite, they're having great results, they're super happy. That's how I have such a great client return record, so many great referrals, that I have this wonderful universe of people to work with because they are happy, because I focus on making sure that they are happy and not delighting people who have never heard of me, which is what a lot of gurus teach. So that's the second piece, is to shape your business. Do not fixate on frosting. So EST, right? Embrace your story, shape your business. What is T? T is translate your value. That's really all marketing is if you stop to think about it. It's finding ways to get people to see and understand, translate your value as something that solves their problems. So I really like this because I think traditional marketing leaves out a lot of opportunity for us. Like, a lot of social media marketing doesn't suggest that there are other ways of attracting our ideal clients, delighting them, and getting them to clone themselves. So one of the ways that I have done that, that I've actually taken action and then seen results without intense social media marketing, has been free speaking. So one of the biggest ways over the past decade that I've been doing what I've been doing with brand consulting and brand strategy has been turning my free speaking into paid clients. So this is something I share a little bit more about in Package Your Process, where I actually teach the whole funnel for this, but I'll give you the broad overview so you can understand what I'm talking about. I started this episode talking about how tired social media makes me. Let's talk about why it feels sleepy and exhausting. It feels sleepy and exhausting to me because I know I will sit there and I'll come up with a LinkedIn post and it'll take me 30 minutes to an hour. I put it out there and maybe people will like it, or maybe it will get completely ignored. And that annoys the heck out of me. I want that hour of my time, because I protect my time, to be valued, to be valuable, to add up to something. And, I've yet to see in 11 years social media really pay off for me. So I do other consistent things than social media marketing. I go and speak in front of ideal rooms of coaches and consultants. I would rather spend that hour, instead of working on a LinkedIn post, I would rather go speak in front of my ideal clients and share my expertise and invite them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe of what I do. To give you a sense of how this worked for me, just last year, I spoke to over 600 people across 30 different talks. The majority of those were virtual. That was about 30-ish hours of work. and it turned into close to $80,000 in business, all from free speaking. Not a single social media post was required for that. Not only did I get client business, I also got a ton of people on my email list. So those people could become clients in the future. You might be listening to this because you saw me speak somewhere. That's a little bit of what I'm doing here with the podcast. It's too new to test it, to tell you what the results are. I'll be happy to share it in future episodes. I'm claiming accountability that I'm working toward doing this for a minimum of a year, but let's see what's going to happen here. The other thing I want to say about speaking to get clients and translating my value, I think it's important that whatever you do to translate your value, maybe you like posting on social media. I don't know. Maybe you like writing LinkedIn articles. Maybe you like writing a newsletter. It's got to be something you like, because if you don't actually like it, you're not going to do it. I was just listening to a podcast episode and they were like, you really got to work on your consistency, but they didn't explain how you stay more consistent. For full transparency, my strengths finder strengths of 34 strengths, my bottom strength, which means my biggest weakness, is consistency. So it has been having a system that I actually enjoy, a strategy I like. And because I don't like posting on social media, I'm not going to do it. No matter how many strategies or courses I take or people I hire, maybe one day I'll get it out. I do think it's great for some businesses, and clearly if it works for you, then it works for you. But I just know so many people in my universe who don't like to self-promote, who are nervous about the visibility of social media marketing, and it just doesn't fit who they are. So I'm just here to say that there are lots of ways of doing that. I share more in the book, Establish Yourself, of course, but I did just want to touch on this, that I think, for me, speaking has been worth the time that goes into it. So it's really about what is worth the time for you. So just to pull this all together, if social media exhausts you and has been burning you out with zero results, I would really encourage and invite you to pour your energy into what does light you up and to focus on that low hanging, impactful fruit that the Establish Yourself framework really points you to. If you want help with that, I've written a whole book about this, and you can get a free chapter of it. If you want to read the first 50 pages, it is my gift to you. So go find that. It's at greateststorycreative.com/read, READ, and you can get the first chapter of the book there. I'll make sure the link is in the show notes. If you would like more than just a book and you're somebody who needs more accountability and you would love support, tools, and trainings to put this framework into action, I am excited to let you know that I am opening the Establish Yourself Action Club for its only public open week in that first week of January. So it is coming soon, in just a few weeks. And if you'd like a sneak preview of it, I am sharing that at my Super Simple Goals workshop on Monday, January 5th. If you would like to set inspiring goal themes for 2026 in less than an hour and get a preview of how incredible Action Club is and how it can support you in the new year, come and check us out. Super Simple Goals is at greateststorycreative.com/pop-up. And you can hop on the early access list for Action Club at greateststorycreative.com/Action Club. I'll put a link in the show notes for all of these resources for you. When I discovered that social media marketing was not a requirement for me to be a successful six-figure entrepreneur that didn't work all the time, that was a game changer. And that's why I created the Action Club. Because as you may have already learned from me, I think the key is to take imperfect action. We don't know what's going to work, but if we follow embracing our story and shaping our business and translating our value, if we focus on the things that we've already got some traction on and make them great, bake the best cake that we can, and make sure that our ideal clients are being well served and brought back into the fold, you can't lose with that. So if you've been somebody who's been burning out so much on what it feels like every guru teaches, come join us. Come join me. Take more action. If all you do is listen to this episode and know you are not alone and that there are ways to grow without social media marketing, then I've done my job today. I wish you every success as you work to EST, establish yourself. Hey, do you like surprises? The credits are about to roll, but just like a Marvel movie, stick around to the end for something I put in just for you. Thanks for listening to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and if you're enjoying the show, it would mean so much to me if you follow it, leave a quick rating, or share it with a friend. And for free branding resources and more ways to work together, head to greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now here it is, your moment of magic. Thank you to so many of you who have left a review. Reviews keep coming in. And here is one from my 5-year-old son, Leo.
Don't listen to Mom. She's just being silly.